Hey, everybody, welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is the place to be for tips, tools, strategies, and everything you need to take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Now, you know, today is Tuesday. That means the digital diva is in the house. Terry Johnson online from New York City. So get your pen, get your paper, or your digital device and take some really good notes so that you can implement the things that you are going to learn today. So, we're talking about the shift in media today. So, TJ is going to get all into it. And we hope we trust that you're going to find something that you can use to help. So, without further ado, thank you for watching the live and the replay. Take it away, TJ.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week where we talk about marketing and marketing strategies and things we need to know to better market our business. And I know there's a lot of confusion about what to do, and there's so much stuff. That's the thing that I hear online. There's so much stuff. What is going on? And I can't get my notes to sync. What is going on here? All right, give me a second. Um, yeah, let me see. This is not syncing from my Mac. I made some changes. Oh well, I'll go with it. So I was listening to a new podcast. I listened to a lot of podcasts. I forgot which one it was. Somebody was talking about um it was an older one where they were talking about the trends in marketing for 2024. And one of them they were talking about, and one of the people said that there's not a shift. There's no longer social and social media. We got to call it media now. And I was like, that is so true, because the conversation part of social media has disappeared. Does anybody else notice it besides me? So on this podcast, when I find it, I'll put it in the link below. You can look after the show is over. But they were talking about like when you had a blog, and in web 1.0, when you had a blog, people would comment on your blog. Fast forward to now, web 3.0, and is anybody commenting on any blogs? There's no commenting going on blogging. But that's not to say that you shouldn't blog, because there's a different purpose behind that, and we talked about it has tied into Pinterest. But when they were having the conversation, I was like, that is so true. The conversation part has disappeared. What you have now on social media is outrage, people saying crazy stuff, trolls, hate speech. You have all of that. So the good conversations, you don't see them anymore. There may be some here and there. That's because no, they didn't stop talking. They're secretive. They're behind the wall. They're on the ground. I think I called it periscope marketing, where everybody went under the surface. And I got to find that too when I said that. But everybody, the conversation under the surface in private groups, family groups, little conversations or groups, communities where people get together. They have one for the Swifties. Beyonce has one. They're around different things. It could be big, it could be large, but the conversation is happening underground. Good morning, Dr. Side. See, this is up her alley, the shift in media. I know she knows what I'm talking about. So this person I was listening to the podcast said we now have to call it media. The social part is gone, and I completely agree. The social part is gone. The social part has moved somewhere else. Conversation in Facebook groups, Telegram groups, Instagram broadcast channels, Patreon. I'm trying to think of all the little places. Snapchat for that group, and it's by age. So the boomers are where? Facebook. The millennials are where? Instagram. Gen Z is TikTok and Snapchat, and they are having private conversations. Hey, Mark. Mark's here. So that's what I'm calling this. It's not me. It's just I'm like, okay, we need to talk about it because people are talking about it.
Right. So this is like back in the day when, okay, I'm going to date myself, but when there were fan clubs.
Yes, fan clubs. Remember that?
Yeah,
Fan clubs.
you were a part of the Wolfman Jack fan club or the Michael
Mm-hmm.
Jackson fan club
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. And these
Jackson
were,
5, any of these groups. And what
yeah,
was the key of all of these groups? They congregated around one topic, one
right,
thing. It could be a celebrity, but today it's anything. I
right,
still remember the website where the guy he's talking about hot sauce. And people thought that was crazy back then, but look, fast forward, we got a show on YouTube, the guy that does the hot ones, and he has celebrities on, and they do nothing but eat hot wings, and the wings get hotter, and they try to make the celebrity choke or not talk. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But that's all around a topic, a community of things that people like. And when we first started with social media, everybody was on Twitter. Remember that with the TV? I would be watching my favorite TV show, and like during the commercial, you go and you look and see what everybody's saying about scandal and all those things. That's not happening anymore. It's secretive. You join the scandal. Well, the scandal's not on, but what I'm saying is whatever the show is, there's a secret community, and you
right,
stumble upon it because you find up somebody might come up. I call it Periscope. Somebody comes up to the surface and talks about the thing and says, "We're over here," and then they scurry back under. And if you're lucky enough to see that tweet or that I say tweet or post or whatever, you say, where's everybody talking about the popular thing that I like to talk about? Well, they're in Discord. They're in Patreon. They're in a Facebook group, public or private. They're somewhere, little pieces. So you see where that is? So the social media part of it, where we were, what I'm having for lunch. Remember, everybody posted their lunch, and I'm walking the dog, and I'm doing this. That has all disappeared because a lot of that is people work from home. The conversation's different. We went through a pandemic. Everything is different. But what I'm saying is the conversation is still happening. So and when he said we're gonna have to call it media, and I was like, that's so true. Because another part of this is that we talked about before, as far as Gen Z, where do they do their consumption of content? Where are they the most? It was YouTube. It was the phone, but it was YouTube. It wasn't NBC, CBS, ABC. It wasn't mass media. They don't watch the news. They don't watch CBS nightly news. All the news comes on at 6:30 p.m. Who watches that? Who watches the nightly news at 6:30 p.m.? Boomers. Because they bought a big TV. So I got something I want to pull up, a little chart. Let's look at this. Now this is status stuff. And most used devices for digital videos in the US as of December 2023, smartphone, 69%. 69%. What's next? Smart TV, laptop, tablet, streaming device. That's an Apple TV, Roku, all of those things. Gaming console. Some people do watch, through their gaming console. That would be a certain group that they are gamers. They are used to turning it on, so they watch it there. Desktop PC, 25%. Don't know 1%. Now the 1%, those are probably Luddites or people that they're not in the digital world at all, and okay, that's good for them. But smartphone,
number one.
and where are the apps? What do they do on the smartphone? Are they calling? They making phone calls? Are they texting? Maybe.
Few people.
What they're doing with that smartphone?
There.
Facebook, Instagram, X, maybe LinkedIn, maybe they're doing things there. Is my point. That's where the media is. It's not the TV.
Mark said the don't know is members of Congress.
What did he say? Oh, the don't know. Yes. Yes. Agreed. So, I mean, just look at that. That compared with what we know about Gen Z and where they are, YouTube. I believe it was YouTube. I forgot what it was. YouTube and something else was number 2.
Wow.
So media, when we think of media, our age group, I think of ABC, NBC, CBS, TV. The younger crowd does not. And that wave goes up. That means Gen Alpha, Gen Z, millennials, zillennials, Gen X, boomers, whatever. It goes up. Because what happens with the boomers is they have younger people in their lives. And they see them connected to this thing going, wow, what's so fascinating about it? What? And they go, well, grandpa, let me show you TikTok. Let me show you what's here. The content that's there. The content consumption is happening. So this is not about us. Okay, yeah, we're going to call it media. We're still going to call it social media. I just want you to think about the shift of consumption. What's being consumed? Are people watching, what is the night show? The late night shows. Some people do watch Stephen Colbert because they like him, not because they want to watch a nightly show. I remember as a kid, Johnny Carson was the thing. He's the king of late night because people watch TV at night because there was only 3 channels, or before cable got there and ruined everything.
So you know how I consume Saturday Night Live?
Peacock app.
Okay, so no, not necessarily.
YouTube?
On YouTube, on the clips to each
YouTube.
of the segments, not watching it all the way through. You pick out your segments that you like on YouTube, and you just and this is Monday. It's not Saturday. It wasn't on at Saturday Night Live when they run it at 10:30, 10 o'clock, or whatever time they decide.
Must-see TV is dead. Remember? Cosby Show, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Be there, be square, because there was no, unless you had a VCR, that was gone. 8 to 8:30, boom. Hey, did you see when they did the thing on the stairs and they sang the Ray Charles song and little Rudy was so cute and she did her little baby? If you didn't see it, then you were like, you got to find somebody that recorded it. So that kind of media consumption is gone. And that is nobody, not now. And SNL is 40 something years old. In the beginning, it was Chevy Chase and all those guys and Richard Pryor, and it was you had to watch it again. You didn't stay up and watch it and watch the funny thing that John Belushi did or any of these other comedians, you missed out, because when you went to work, that was the conversation around the
water cooler.
Yes.
And it seems like it's not as funny as it was. And so if the skits were funny, I'm like, okay.
It's not because the age group of the comedians on the show, the writers and stuff, that's Gen Z. They write comedy based, it's situation based. So whatever happens with them. Oh, this funny thing happened on TikTok. Let's talk about it on SNL, and the rest of the world's going, what? I don't use TikTok, or I don't see that. Now, speaking of TikTok, before I get into this real quick, I discovered this, was it this week or this weekend? And this ties into the Club Shay Shay, the conversation we've been having about consumption and the conversation going on YouTube and being 2-3 hours when the marketing gurus tell you, oh, they have your audience has the attention of a goldfish, which is a lie. They watch what they want to watch when they want to watch it. That's the whole thing behind it. So there's something going on right now. There's some woman, I forgot to pull it up again. I will put the link in if you want to watch it, but it's 50 episodes. I don't know if you want to watch it. I didn't watch all of it. I watched maybe 1 or 2 or 3. Somebody made a text recap Somebody put them together and put them on YouTube. I will find that if you want to watch it. And the lady is in her car talking about who TF I married, I married. She goes into the story of how she met her husband and all the things that happened. She called it red flags. She really wanted to put it out for red flags. Well, this thing is going viral right now. People are talking about it. And it's a certain culture that's talking about it on Instagram and X and whatever. So what I'm saying is that she made 50 videos. And she starts at the beginning. Oh, I met this guy and he was great. And we had a conversation and blah, blah, blah. And we went to the cheese. So she tells the story in such a way that you want to watch part 2, part 3. And if you got time, which I didn't have the time. I was like, okay, I got to come back to this. 50 parts. Because she's telling a story that is engaging to a certain audience. And where is she telling this story? Is she telling this story on NBC or not even YouTube? Well, it's there now because somebody put it there, but she's on TikTok. She's there. So I say that with the Club Shay Shay, with the way things are happening. And to me, it should be this way. Media should be consumed the way you want it, when you want it, and you should consume the story that you want to hear. You just got to find it. You got to find it. And how I found it, I don't know. I was somewhere, and people were like, did you see this thing about the lady in her car in Atlanta? She's from Atlanta. And she's talking about how she got, I don't know if she got swindled. I didn't see the rest of the thing. But she's talking about like, I think she called it, this marriage was the United States of red flags or something. She kept saying about red flags. Like this was the thing I should have caught, but I didn't catch it. And it's a long, involved story for her to tell 50 parts. 50 parts of who the TF that I married. You can fill in the TF part. I put that with the Cat Williams, with the Club Shay Shay and the Monique. And there's a couple other things that get put together of look at how we're consuming media and that chart that I showed you. Why? Because we're using this. So that means your content needs to be made for this or like this, or but you have to pay attention to that. And we talked about how Gen Z, I know we'll talk about them a lot. They don't own a TV. They don't want to own a TV. They don't have a place to put a big screen TV. They're living with mom or dad or relatives or this or that or together. And that's their complaint. They can't get housing. So why would they want a big TV? Why would they want a car? They don't want those things because they got no place to put it. So what do they all have? I just showed you the chart. They got that. And that was US. I didn't even get into like global. There's some charts that talk about global smartphone use and adaptation of the smartphone and how many oh, you found it. Okay. So the link is there, and I'm gonna you want to show it? I'll pull it. You want me to pull it up? Because you're muted. You want me to pull it up? You're muted.
Yes, please.
Me.
And
Okay.
I'll put the link in the chat and see if it'll allow me to do that. But 50.
Oh, she put a playlist. Okay. All right. Let me bring this up. And I wasn't going to go into this. It just so happened I fell into it and I was like, this is in, talking it goes into what we're talking about. So let me bring this up. All right, so this is her REESAMTESSA. I'm gonna pull up she got a screen, not a screen, she got a playlist. I think that's it. She's even doing a live. Oh my goodness. Okay. So here she's got an intro, part 1, I didn't see the intro. I did see part 1. So let's see. Do we click on it?
If you go,
please excuse the hair, but here is part 1 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So I met my ex-husband around March 4th of 2020. We met on Facebook dating site, and we also matched on Hinge. I did not realize that he was on both under two different names. So one was his actual name, and the other one was a variation, like a nickname that he called himself. Different pictures. So it was a running joke between us. Oh, you ain't even recognized that you had matched with me on Hinge. No, I didn't. And also that should have been a red flag. By the way, you will notice in this story, I called it the United Nations of red flags. It is so many red flags that, I mean, you would have thought I was colorblind because I ignored all of them. So
okay, let me pause that and then look at some of the because she goes into it. If you've got the time, or even if you don't have the time, at least listen to part 1, and then she put an intro. I'm going to go back to see that. But look at the comments. Who else succumbed to the pressure starting today? Social pressure led me here. Who's starting today at 20th of February? Because she posted this 6 days ago. Okay. Everybody that started watching today, who is starting February 20th, I just canceled my Hulu subscription. That was funny. Is anybody else started today, 12/19, who just started? So this thing is like, here's a brand jumping in. Oh my God. Club Pilates. Sorry, we are late to class. 6,000 likes. Season 1, episode 1. So you see what this is? So I saw another post that said this better be copyrighted because Netflix is gonna make a TV show out of it.
There is a TV show that came out in 2013, but it had nothing to do with this.
Right.
And
somebody said quitting my job so I could focus on this full time.
I mean, and she hit on something. She got over 1 million followers or something. I was like, what the? Mm-hmm. And she wasn't trying. She wasn't trying to go for 1 million followers. She was just venting.
She's in the car. She's got a thing in her hair for rolling her hair. She does not care. It's not production. And she's telling a story that is, she called it the United Nations of red flags. I saw so many red flags. And she's like telling the story. So you can see, look at the red flags I missed. Blah, 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 relationship stuff. So here's somebody in the comments, my fellow idol Kenyans. Kenya? This thing is international.
Right.
And she's telling a story. That's it. So it's 50 parts. It's on TikTok. Let me get rid of this because I think I watched maybe the first 3 or something, and I was like, whoa. It's a story. It's being consumed where everybody is. Here. Somebody put it together on YouTube. Somebody did a text summary because they were like, I'm not watching 50 episodes. People in the comments, I got to come over here because I saw this thing go viral on something else. And she's in the car just breaking it down on part 1, part 2, and then it keeps going. So what does this tell you about content?
Here's the thing. She's telling a story that happened to her. She was not following the guru saying, okay, now you need to make it this long and you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to post it at this time. And she was just telling her story.
None of that matters. And I've been saying that. None of that matters. Oh, you Instagram, you must post between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. I'm like, who? No, you post certain times of the day and then you look at your analytics and that's when you post. Because that tells you there. You could post at 3 a.m. if you wanted to. I don't understand that. It's about hitting the target and being perfect. But the way you do this and why I'm bringing this up is that you hit the target because you have to know your target audience. And I wrote this down. Find your audience on the right channels. To build your audience, you have to look at the interplay between content and distribution and put them together. Today's internet is built around a group of channels, just like cable television. Each of these channels is a pipeline that you put the content in where people want to watch it.
Right.
What is on Lifetime? What kind of content is on Lifetime?
It is like
Movies for romance, mystery for women. What kind of stuff is on FX? What kind of stuff is on ESPN? What kind of stuff? That is where we are now with this social media. It's just media, and it's okay. You got to know where your people are, what they like to do, where they like to watch it. Are they watching on the TV? Are they watching on the spot? You have to know all these things because it helps you make the content that you need to make, and not manufacture. But like with this lady on TikTok, she's just, I don't know if she's going to work. I don't know what time it is. She's got a thing in her hair. I know that she got a little bit, she doesn't care. It's not about that. It's about, I got a story to tell. I'm in the car. This is my phone. TikTok.
She and she didn't wait till she had all of the lights, the cameras, the da. She wasn't standing in front of
in that arena of media, because the people on TikTok don't want that. When you do that kind of stuff on TikTok, they don't want that.
And she just wanted to tell her story because it probably was going to help somebody else, so that you can understand. Look for the flags, people.
Mm-hmm.
Look for the flags.
Mm-hmm.
And wow.
Mm-hmm. So that the Club Shay Shay, now Club Shay Shay Shannon, that is produced, but it's not overly produced. It's just, I don't know if is it his house or two couches that face each other, and they got some drinks there, his liquor line and the cigars, and they're kicked back and talking.
Right.
Now he's got lights and stuff, and yes, that's great, but it's not $1 million set.
And he's talking to people, and that, he's bringing people on, the guests that somebody wants to hear about.
He's having a conversation that his audience wants to hear, and he knows that. Now, that Cat Williams thing, I think it's at 60 million or something the last time I checked. The Monique one is like 20 something. But see how he's just doing his thing. He's having a conversations. And then you got the side part of it where people are attacking him. Like all the comedians that I've never heard of are coming out to attack him. Like I think Eddie Griffin said something, and like, where did they dig him up from? So all these people are coming up trying to get, attach themselves to the back of the rhino across the river.
So I can
little animal.
Because all them people who are attacking him, we ain't heard from y'all in a long time.
It was like Eddie Griffin. Didn't he have a movie like 30 years ago? So he's out at the clubs. They recorded. It's on Twitter's X somewhere. He's out there talking about, because it's like newsjacking. They're hanging on to the popular thing, trying to get a little bit of shine. I'm not blaming them. I just said Eddie Griffin needed to drink some Ovaltine and sit down. Yeah, I was like, I thought he honestly, I was like, where has he been? But this is the smart thing. If you've been a comedian that has laid back and you're like, well, I need a spotlight, this is your spotlight. Now it's starting to wane a little bit. Like Eddie's on the tail end of grabbing onto that, that viral thing. It's gonna end soon.
And he's not probably going to go viral.
No.
But he's
going to get his people to come to his show, because a lot of comedians, they work the road. Like they're not in Hollywood sitting back, they're working the road. Like they have a show in Cleveland and then they got to go in. That's how they make the money. So I don't blame him that he's going to make a little bit of, some jokes, and he knows people are recording, and he's going to go, ooh, did you hear what he said about Shannon? So you get a little bit of shine, and that's good, but he needs to capitalize on that with his crowd, however he wants to do it. But see, this is about the audience, and I included this newest one because it was just like, it was spur of the moment. She didn't plan this. Oh, I'm gonna go viral. You can't plan it.
You can't plan viral. That's good.
You can't plan viral. It just is. Okay, it just is. You do your thing, whatever it is, and it goes with the right audience.
And it sparks something with somebody, and then it goes. It
So
hit
what is
me
yeah,
on why.
what I see in all this is that people are hungry for a story. It's not the guru. Oh well, what's going on with Instagram? Nobody can watch my. Are you telling a story?
A story we want to hear.
Yes, a story that your audience wants to hear. That's the most important part of it. Not just because I can get, oh well, here Goldilocks in the three beds. All that. Who wants to hear? Nobody wants to hear that. Tell the story of how you started your business and how you overcame, or this is what I'm going through today, or da da da. It has to be relatable.
Right.
And you may not get 14 million people like Keith Lee or this lady. You may get a couple of hundred. Guess what? That's better than yesterday when it was 10. 10 to 100, I'll take that. 100 to 500, 500 to 2,000. See how that goes? So what does that mean when you're a business owner? It's like that's more eyeballs for the people to traffic direct to your link. That takes them to what? Your system, your framework, you think you have set up in order to get them into the system of buying something from you or purchasing something from you or getting on the list to buy something in the future. See how that works? So all of this ongoing viral stuff. Well, if you're not selling anything, I was trying to see if she had a link. If she had a link in bio. Let me bring it back up. If you're not in business and you're just doing this for fun, it's all fun. Right?
Yep.
It's just all fun. And that's cool. But we're talking about business because I need to put out my story and have it do she got her Cash App.
Yeah.
Which is smart because people gonna drop her some cash for telling her, girl, you entertained me today. Here's $20. Times how much 2.9 million people that watched her final installment.
And she goes live Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. ish and 5 p.m. ish. She goes live. Daily lives.
Yes. So now, is she going to keep all of those 2 million, 1 million, 3 million? Probably not, but she can keep enough around who will want to hear her talk about her dating scene from here on out. Because it's hard out here to date. That's what she could say.
Right.
Do you agree?
Some tips and
do you agree? She gonna get a whole bunch of people. Yeah, and they're gonna chime in with their story. If she does this right, she can get brand sponsorship somewhere. If she does this right, so it could go where she wants it to go. Because she didn't do this to start out. Well, I'm gonna tell this story, and then I'm gonna have a link where people can buy my book that I'm selling. She should start writing that book. Because they will buy her book, and she keeps talking about this topic, which obviously hit a nerve with a whole bunch of people her age and younger.
So now she's unhinged. Okay. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, wow. She's got.
Is dating a big topic or what?
Apparently it is, because she is like this. She said, Dr. Tachi said something up here before. Nickname, when she said he mentioned that he had a nickname, she said, no, that's an alias. That is not a nickname.
That is in there. That is in the story. It wasn't okay. I read the recap. Somebody posted like a 3-page recap, and I like the whole story. It's a doozy. So I might watch some of it. I was trying to find somebody said that they compiled it on YouTube. I couldn't find the link. I didn't have time. Because I was like, okay, this is when I want to, you want to sit and eat some potato chips or popcorn, and let me listen to this lady weave her story, which is true. So, Mark has a comment. Oh, Mark, okay.
Go ahead and put him up. I'm looking.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Okay, I got it. Mark says, I'm going to hire a programmer that can set it so that anyone comes to my website cannot leave or use other internet functions until I release them. The Stockholm Syndrome work virtually. Now, you cannot keep people against their will. Nice try. But you can keep people by telling the story, which is what Mark does. Mark his podcast. I'm sorry, Mark, I forgot the name of it, but I have it here. And I had something I wanted to send you too, Mark, about your TikTok. Something good. Okay. I just forgot I forgot to send it to you. I wanted you to see it about your TikTok channel, and I couldn't figure out how to do it because I was on the desktop and I was trying to figure out how to do it on the desktop on the phone because I got another phone, and it was just crazy, and then I forgot. And then he says, "Oh, the 4-minute mark." I love that. So it's the podcast, the 4-minute mark, and Mark is doing very, very well on TikTok. If he doesn't know, he probably knows already. He's doing very well. I was like, let me screenshot this and show you. But this is what I mean about you talk about what you know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't make up stuff. And then because in some people's mind, they're like, well, nobody wants to hear my story. How do you know until you tell it? Oh, well, I don't want to talk too much personal stuff. Like this she putting a lot of personal stuff out, but it's not going to hurt her. I mean, this is a marriage in the past. She said this happened before COVID, like right before COVID. So this is done and dusted. Like this whole marriage thing with the guy, and it's a story. But you tell as much as you want. You reveal as much as you want. And I'm always listening to Gary Vee, and Gary had another video where he was telling somebody something about his personal. You don't know what his kids look like. You know their names because he mentioned them 5-6 years. He mentioned them. He stopped mentioning them. I think he mentioned his ex-wife once. There are no pictures of her. You cannot Google her. You cannot Google his kids. They're not on the internet.
I didn't realize I did not realize he had an ex. I just knew.
Oh yeah, I didn't know either. He has a fiance now. Now when he did his first V Friends, I think he put her in the video, and I was like, wow, they kind of close. Come to find out, that was his girlfriend. Now they're engaged, but he doesn't talk about her at all. There's like a New Year's Eve picture or something, but if you go to her Instagram, she has stuff there. And it's not, and then she doesn't share a lot because I think she has some kind of business, or she's an influencer or something. I don't remember the deal. Anyway, but he doesn't. Nobody knew he got divorced, and this happened before the pandemic. Because he doesn't talk about. He says, "I don't talk about my personal life. I don't talk about my children. I talk about my mom and dad, and they show up. That's it. His sister, his brother. He's talked about his brother." He hasn't shown his brother in a while, but they have another business together, some kind of sports business, sports agent.
Right. Sports agency.
He runs that. The brother runs that. The sister's a real estate agent. But he doesn't, other than that, no personal stuff at all. It's just him. And he says, I do that on purpose because I have minor children. I want to protect my children. He stopped talking about them. Never showed them. Never showed his ex-wife. So that's what I'm saying. He said, you can do this and you decide what you want to share. Now, there are people that, okay, they go to Facebook and they go to what, and they just let everything go. And I'm like, why? But that's how some people do. And then, okay, now you have to think, well, I want to start a business. You got all that stuff back there. You better go clean it up first if you can. But the horse is out the barn. So these are some of the things that you need to think about with content. And then as a business owner, how much you want to share and what you want to be. But you have to have some kind of reality there. And that's what's going on with this lady, Reese. I forgot what her username is, with the married, the red flags.
Risa Tisa.
Yeah, Risa Tisa. So she's got a little something where if she wants to, or she could just not. But I think she wants to because now she's got the live going. So, yeah. So she might want to do a little something here. But that's how easy it is. And then it's hard. It looks easy, but it's hard.
Right. Because you have to be able to handle viral once it goes viral.
And that's where you have to have a framework. But she put up one real quickly. I mean, she got a little Cash App going. She got a little live stream going. I'm going to follow her to see, what does she do? And she doesn't have to be perfect. If she makes a misstep, that's fine. She'll learn from it and whatever. But you have to have when you 3 points, slam dunk, there has to be a hoop. Something to catch the ball. That's your framework. And your framework is, I got a Patreon. In her case, she got a Cash App. I got a Shopify link. I got a Shopify store. I got a real store. I got a this. I got whatever it is. You're directing them to that.
This is interesting.
But for me, I would advise her to always get an email list together. She can do the Cash App, but get those emails, baby, because that is what you can show to a sponsor for a brand sponsorship, brand partnership. They're going to want to see some real engagement, and the real engagement is the email list, something you own. We talked about own media, because the likes and the 14 million views, that's great. But like I said with Club Shay Shay, are they going to come back for the next interview and the next interview? So those are the things that you have to look at and work at. But this is where we are with the shift in media. The consumption is where? On the smartphone. Why? Because the stories are being told there. Okay, so here's a real quick one before we go. I didn't even know, like, the CBS, NBC, I didn't even know all the shows were back from the writer's strike, because I just never watched TV anymore.
The new season is now in February instead of September. So
I was like, because I like Ghost, and I was like, oh my God, Ghost is on? It's back. So I had to watch, but I'm like, I gotten out of the habit of this big TV turning it on, and I'm like, well, I was on YouTube, I was over TikTok, I'm looking at little bits of things that have been keeping me entertained, and I'm not the only one. I know some people do still watch the TV, but there's a growing contingent of watching this lady, they're watching Kev, we mentioned Kev on stage.
Kev on stage. See, what's happening is, and YouTube is going to get it right, because they have a way for you to record what you want to see on YouTube TV.
Right.
And so you can record it and go watch it whenever you want to. You do not need to be, because I like Ghost too, but I'm not going to sit down on Thursday at whatever time and Ghost is on.
We're not in that habit anymore. That was Cosby Show, the 80s. Now it's like I could watch it whenever I want, in what fashion I want. I don't have to watch mainstream NBC produced shows. I don't have to watch that stuff.
Nope.
I can watch this lady. Very entertaining. And then I can look at the comments. And then when she goes live, I can get in the live and see and talk to her and see what she's saying and what the other people are saying from Kenya, from other countries. Can you do that with TV? When I'm watching TV, am I seeing somebody from Kenya talking to, or from whatever country? No.
Because they are controlling the narrative. In linear television, they are controlling the narrative. They are programming what you can see, what you can't see, when you can see it. And we have rebelled. We're like, no.
We don't want that. No, ma'am, no, sir. You're not going to make me watch Ghost and I'm not getting no Hulu or whatever that you got to get to watch. No, I'm not doing that, because I already got this stream and that stream. I'm not getting another streaming service. So there's a shift going on with media, especially social media, which is turning into media. It's turning into media. And you want to blame somebody, blame Gen Z. I don't blame them, but I know some people do not like Gen Z at all. They're coming in and why we got to do this and now this and that and work from home and remote work and wellness and self-care and soft life. All of these things that they're throwing out that some of the older generations are like, they're not with. And that's cool.
But the older generation should be with it, because you get to rest. You ain't running yourself in the ground. You still get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. What is wrong with it?
Old habits die hard. That's the saying, right?
We had to walk in snow up to here.
Oh my goodness. Because my mother grew up on a farm, so I have all these stories about, she horrified me as a child. Oh, the chicken, if she wanted chicken, I was like, chicken is in the pack in the grocery store already cut up, and she's like, no. When she was a kid, no, chicken didn't come like that. Should have. All the things you had to do. No, don't tell me that. You terrifying me. No. My chicken comes cut up in a pack. No. So that's what I mean. No, we don't do things that way.
No.
So you have those that are mindset about the TV, and especially a lot of advertising companies, and also some of the media companies, like I said, NBC, CBS, ABC, blah 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 blah. If they're not putting their stuff on TikTok, which they are, I've seen some of the stuff there, but they're wanting people to watch TV because that's the ad dollars, and that's, we just had the Super Bowl with $7 million and 30-second spot, blah blah blah, and okay, we got that, but that's not the average daily thing for them. So they are in a quandary, and they should be not worried, but listen, let's develop some stuff for the smartphone, because isn't Tubi, I don't watch Tubi, but isn't their content is designed for content on the phone, Tubi and others?
I think so, because you can get Pluto app, you can get
Pluto. There's a bunch,
right.
But they're all designed for this, not TV, which that's the shift in media. It's not immediate overnight, but I showed you that chart. Smartphone, 69%. People like this lady making content, and when you find your crew, your little community, you get over there and like, well, wonder what she put up today, and they go back to her TikTok.
Well, I'm telling you, the BBC got it right because they know everybody likes a British mystery, right?
Yes.
Who Bennett's. They put that package together under BritBox and ENCORE. You are not going to just watch that. It is all streaming. You can stream a lot of them, but they're under a app where it's a streaming service. You can watch them anytime you want. You can binge them up until they still come out, and some of them are dripped. But I was like, wow. So you have to have an app,
right? So why are we talking about this? Because we have to decide how are we going to make our content. And that always shifts and changes. I've noticed changes before, but now it is like, really, what do we do? And a part of this is know your audience, know how they consume content, know information about them. What do they like information on TV and you can ask them, or you can do a Google search, or you can do a search and put little data. There's people that do studies, Status has one, Pew Research. The information is there. You got to put it together. Because what they're going to do is people are going to move to content to where they want it. That's the end result of this.
Give the people what they want.
They're going to find it where they want. And that's why I brought up this lady on TikTok. I don't know how I found her, but other people have found her because it was shared on X, or it was shared on Facebook, it was shared on this, or shared on somewhere else, and they brought them to TikTok. And then people are just doing things. Like I said, somebody put all of them together and made a YouTube video, and it's just an example of the things that can happen with content, what is happening with content. And then we've got to realize, now, I'm not saying make a 50-part story. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, look at what people want to consume. They want to eat that. It's like a potato chip. Like I said, you eat. Do you eat one Lay's? And I think Lay's had a commercial about, do you eat one Lay's? You don't.
You don't. Nobody can eat just one.
You know what the serving size is? I think it's like 15 chips.
And you eat the whole bag. Okay.
And you're sitting there going, well, I just ate the whole bag. Oh my God. But that's what that serving size is on the bag. But this is what's going on with content. So it's an ever evolving thing. We're going to keep changing. And You know, this is what it is, and we're going to stay on top of it. So it's always entertaining. Like, I like what she did and how she called it, and, you know, being herself. So that's all you can do, is just figure out what kind of story do I want to tell and try out a piece. A 30-second, 50-second, 7-second, however, but try it. You have to try it and taste it to see what they will pick up. And they is your audience.
See, now what I'm going to do is send her link over to a friend of mine who's been, you know, dating and trying different stuff. I'm like, you might want to watch this before you start picking.
Yes, and she seems like a very intelligent, well thoughtful, you know, I asked the right questions, she said woman, and she still got caught in what happened. So
right.
Yes, so but that's what I wanted to talk about. We will talk about this topic some more. But
media. Yes. So here's the thing. You need to follow up with TJ. Make sure that you follow her, terryjohnsononline.com/info. Keep up with all things marketing and digital media.
Terry Johnson Online everywhere, your favorite platform. Reach out wherever you want.
Yes, this is good stuff. And if you want to become a part of the Bizchicks community, you can do that too. You can text join, text biz to 33777, or you can simply go to bizchicks.net. And Carlos said,
yes, Carlos. I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm absent-minded. Yes, we've been talking and we've been messaging. I want to get to it.
Y'all just need to get a calendar and pick a date and a time and just do it.
It's not you, Carlos. That's how I'm just like that in my life. It's like things just fall. Like, oh, remember that? I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, and it was fun. I think we went to New York in 2018.
Yeah, oh my God.
That was a long time.
That long? Before the pandemic? Oh my God.
We went to Niagara Falls, and I'm like, if we this close, we're going to Manhattan. We're going somewhere. Where is TJ? And we saw Coach Karen in Niagara Falls.
Yes.
So
we'll be on the East Coast.
Yeah, we're gonna do the East Coast run.
Cold today. I woke up, it was 24 degrees. So
what?
It was morning. Right now it's 34. So it was 24 about 7 o'clock. I said, oh, it's 24.
Wow, I forgot you guys get, you know, because we've been having.
That's nothing.
I was like, okay, it's cold, but it's not been that cold.
You just put on some layers and some gloves in your coat and you go out. Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing. You can catch, I'm going to call her Dr. TJ. You can catch her on Fridays with us and the other Tech Divas when we come together on this Friday for Tech Life Weekly. You're going to get some really good information there. Great conversation too. Things to help you make really good decisions about your business so that we can help you take the hassle out of your hustle. That is our main reason for being here. Your business don't have to be hard, but you do need some help. We all need help. We need cheerleaders, we need coaches, and we need a community. This is a real good community, and we thank you so much for joining us today and being a part of our world. Could have been anywhere else, but it's Tuesday and you're right here with us. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for subscribing to TJ's YouTube channel and subscribing to the Bizchicks channel. We look forward to talking to you next time. Coach Karen is up tomorrow and we invite you back. So with that,
thanks everybody.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.